evening. Big Scott 35 coming at you. We're not going to have Nats, man. He's feeling a little under the weather. They're messing with his medication a little bit. Told me he's going to be busy. Sorry about the angle tonight. Show you what I've been working and what somebody like me that collects does. I have just been sorting cards. This is my desk right now. Just it, yes, you see a bunch of last names with M's. Just taking my boxes that I haven't sorted and putting them. I'm a player collector, so I'm putting all the players together. So, and if you don't have one of these, I'm sorry, I can't call you a collector. Oh, me. I got to have a little fun after yesterday. Just still not, I don't know how long I'll be on tonight. Still not 100% there. I was going to talk WBC, but I got another week to wait for that. World Baseball Classic is what I really want to, I mean, jonesing for that. I just jonesing for baseball. Started some inter squad games and some the Mets played the Marlins today, I think. I don't get too big into looking at or watching the preseason games in baseball, summer league. I look at stats and try to read up. Yeah, it's true. That battery, Carlisle. I bet you I have some darker than that. I'm 51, and those boxes I probably had since I was 12 years old. 13 is when I first started getting these boxes. So, yeah, I don't want to do quick math in my head because I know I'll be wrong. So, 40 years ish, 30 some years. So, just want to, but always added to them. I just had to get a couple last week. And I forgot what I was talking about. Must have not been that important. So yeah, won't have Nats fan tonight. WBC will be next week. We want to talk lineups of some of the big teams. Some of the new stories already coming out from it. Yeah, should be fun if you're a baseball fan. If not, should watch still. I mean, why not? Sometimes I say funny things. Let's see tonight. I just want to kind of I put on there how YouTube is an extension of the hobby experience. So we've talked before. Oh, I could talk a little bit more too about some other stuff. So like yesterday, went to the card show. Uh, I looked for my man, didn't see him there, but he was there. I must have I don't know how I missed him. It wasn't a very big place. He was there with his son, which I'm glad. It's a good father-son trip. A lot of mamas and son trips. A lot of females buying their own stuff. I've seen a couple of females there trading. Uh, I love that. That is the more diversity, better. Everybody's like, "What about the kids? What about? Well, how about getting other people involved?" You see one too much there. You see old white males at these shows, and then they might have their kids. And we need more diversity, more diversity, more diversity. And the only reason I say that is because it just brings more to the collecting atmosphere. Uh, I've said it before. I mean, you bring in a female, the women I wish they had a bigger foothold in our community. They had a pretty good one there going, and I haven't seen much of them. You have Suze, who does a great job on Instagram. Um, there's also Sue Tasker, I think's her name. I follow on Instagram, and some other people, and that's just 50% of the population that we get involved with this hobby. Uh, it awesome, and more people involved. we're better off as a whole, and especially just coming from different backgrounds, different sports, different non-sports. I mean, y'all know I love my non-sports stuff. Star Wars. I looked at Star Wars. I didn't see much there yesterday, um, which was shocking. There's been quite a bit of releases out here lately. Uh, and the other thing that was shocking to me, the more I thought about it, and kind of came down off of my adrenaline high from being pissed, uh, was the lack of 2023 singles. There was a day not too long ago, if it was released, the next show you went to, there was going to be vendors there with boxes ready for you to go through. They were trying to get rid of them. They don't want it sitting around in their inventory. I didn't see anything opened and out there. I didn't, now if it's a numbered card or, rookies that are probably sent out to be graded, I just didn't see much. I didn't see much of the update stuff same way. Are those days gone, or do I just don't, am I missing them? I remember, you go to shows, and then I went to a card collector actually club that's in Minnesota, just outside the cities there. And they have a show every other month, I think. And it's in a very small strip mall. But it's pretty cool. And there was two guys, but I knew I can go there every time and just get all the singles I wanted for Mets, Pete Alonso. It was probably 2019, right before COVID, 2018, 2019. And man, it was just, I knew, because I asked him, I said, how much do y'all open? And he said cases. And I mean, and they're so wanting to get stuff out of there, you can find some good deals in their value boxes. Yeah, that would be awesome. But battery, when I would go into my LCS as a young person, the guys working in there, he would just pull up a box and just start opening singles right there. I don't know if they do that in the shops anymore. I just don't see that in modern shops. They sell the boxes. I don't know how much they open them to sell or to make team sets or any of that stuff. How's the value boxes versus showcase ratio like at the tables now compared to a year or 2 years ago? Well, it's hard to. What I noticed at the National this year, and I went to a few shows between the National and the end of the year, not many, just you get kind of, once you get your adrenaline so fired up to go to the National, you go to you probably know going, compare it to the Expo, Doctor, that then afterwards it's kind of that you've been with your friends, you've had a good time, you didn't get a lot of sleep, you kind of get that drop in adrenaline almost. Hold on 1 second. I'm getting a little flash here. There we go. Let's see if it does. Sorry about that. That I haven't seen a lot. What my take on that is, I'm sorry. I love going tangents, and thank you, Doctor, for your Instagram message. That really helped a lot. I'm finding that there's a hole, right? So now when you got such a high end, I'm sorry, I got the camera and looking at myself. You got such a high end market now in these cases that you'll see that. But the dollar boxes are getting kind of lost to what they call value boxes. So you'll find anything from $10 down $2 to $1, just to just to see. I'm sorry, that was my dad. I probably need to call him back, but he can wait a few minutes. So you had $10 all the way down to $1. You don't have per se the dollar boxes, quarter boxes. They're out there, but not like they were ratio wise. It's hard to put a ratio number on that, but I found there was a lot of value boxes at that show, more than I've seen before, because I think people have quite a bit of product that's in that lost range, that's in between, you know, that dollar to $10 or $20 range that doesn't make to the showcase, that they might put it on eBay or something, but it's just sitting there. And so now I think they're just putting it into their, these boxes. And I found, pretty good deals. And I was showing them Wednesday. I mean, I found some pretty good stuff. I mean, I don't know who's in wrestling, but here, but I mean, I was getting really nice, wrestling cards for cheap. I mean, I got a couple of Stings. I got this Undertaker. I don't know. I got this Miss Elizabeth. I mean, shame about her life, but I used to be, who wasn't in love with Miss Elizabeth? And I just found some really good deals. Like I found some hockey, wasn't a great deals, and that wasn't a lot of hockey. It was a lot. What hockey was there was a lot of Carolina, because I was in Raleigh, so I was right there where they played the foot on the football field. So it was a lot of Raleigh stuff. It wasn't too, but wasn't too hockey heavy. I found more hockey at the Hickory show. Now these are two places in the same city. Hold on one second. So we're going to. So it's in the same state. You got Raleigh. I'm sorry about that. That was my dad leaving me. But he knows better than call me on the 8 o'clock hour. So you got Raleigh and Hickory, a few hours apart, probably 2 to 3 hours, probably closer to 3. But at Hickory is a lot more NASCAR, a lot more wrestling oriented. And then when you go to just Raleigh, which is in the same state, a lot more basketball, a lot more newer stuff. There was quite a bit of basketball stuff there, which y'all know how I am. And it was something else. I was talking to a friend of mine last night in the hobby. I saw 2 tables with a band of $100 bills sitting out on their table. Come on up, man, G. Not too far from you. There was bands of $100 bills. One was right there at the front door. He might have had 6 cards in one of those bubble cases. They had there was 3 of them in there. Ed Westergriff always talks about their tracksuits, and then they had a camera. One of those cameras sitting with a tripod, talking game. And I was just like, how hard would it be? No police around, no security. Would it be just somebody just have a group of 3 people, 2 guys going up there shooting the shit, and one guy just reaches through, grabs it, and walks off? By the time they even knew what was happening, it would be gone. It would be out the door. And I was like, how stupid can you be to do that? And I've seen that at a few other shows, but I haven't seen it. I don't see it at Hickory, but this one. Now let me just, while I'm here talking about this, I saw, and I'm going to drop this guy's name because, like I said, I got love for everybody. I just don't like this person. Sports Card Dad did a video of the same show. I was looking for him where it was there. Maybe we can mend some fences, know where he's coming from, but I don't know. So he said he went there and, it was packed. it was at least 5 to 10 empty tables there. It wasn't a big place. So it kind of gave that impression it was packed, but it really wasn't. Um, so he goes on and was saying how it was put on that he wanted to set up a table there to sell, but he went on the website to do it and he showed the page and they were already booked up for 5 years. Well, that wasn't who was sponsoring that show. The one he was pulled up was the one that sponsors the Hickory show. They also sponsor other shows. They're a big sponsor down here. Tidewater is the one that sponsored that one. They're new in the area. And that guy's a jerk. I wouldn't want to work with him anyway. But for him, so it just shows another facet of how this guy doesn't take 1 minute to make sure what he's talking about. In the video, he was 10 minutes. Hey, Bink, what's up? Yeah, that's it, and his clickbait for this was using the one that the sports card shows are dead, and then went on to talk about how it's not dead. So that was his clickbait for that one. And then he had a 9-minute video, 1 minute of a video of Britannica from the 80s talking about his son and how his son's like an encyclopedia for Pokemon, which is awesome. And then he had another one that was probably 45-second one for ComC who supports him. Then I got another picture today of where somebody got something in the mail. They bought some cards, and his card was in there for consolidation purposes. He's working with another company for consolidation. I have not. I have not subbed to him. The first one I watched him in the past because it got brought up to me by somebody in my group, and that's kind of. I don't want to blame mine on John. Mine was mine was on Nats Man. He was talking about how this guy and at first I was like, oh, this is. I watched it and I was like, this guy doesn't talk about. He's just talking. He doesn't say anything. He's not. I don't know. And then when somebody made fun of him not showing cards, he just arbitrarily just shows some cards just to, hey, what's up, James? I just don't get it. And he's got 18,000 followers, which I know you could purchase some. I'm not saying he's that nefarious, but I don't know. And then I found out some other stuff that I'm going to keep to myself and keep in my back pocket for right now to kind of, things that I'm just going to keep to myself. So, that I had to bring that up because I just thought it was funny. Here we go again, another layer of this guy just not taking the 1 minute to just. It tells you if you look it up. It cracks me up. But anyway, back to what I'm talking about. And how this is an extension of my hobby. I think it's an extension of all of our hobby. This thing called YouTube. It has really opened me up to other parts of our. I only just don't watch sports card show. I watch Star Wars videos. I'm hooked on gravity car racing, which is just basically Hot Wheels and tracks, and they make the tracks look like the. I don't know yet, James. I talked to Bobbles about it yesterday a little bit. It's a money thing with me right now, 100%. So I got things coming in my, life things. So if I go, if I go all the way up there, I'm not going to be really buying anything. I'm just going to go to hang out, say hi, and then probably come back. And Hickory's the same weekend, and that show is just as big, and it also has toys. And they only do that one a couple of times, and it's right here. It's an hour, not even an hour from my house for that one. And I actually, and those promoters are really, really good. They actually they had the money machine down, and they were pissed at the one show I went to. The ATM was down, and they wanted everybody to know where the closest ATM to get. And of course, and they know, they want to make their people happy, and you can't miss where theirs is at. There's signs everywhere. That it to me that that's the way it's done. Um, they have food, drinks. They make sure that everything's taken care of. Snack places open. There was nothing there. I don't even know if it was a place to use the bathroom. I left and used the bathroom. But anyway, the extension part. I just think this part of the hobby is really, really Mandalorian. Yeah, March 1st. Deep. It looks pretty good. He's calling him, kind of his son in a Mandalorian way, kind of like how a Padawan in the Jedi way. We'll see. That one's pretty good. I'm waiting for Boba Fett. I've been watching. I caught up on Bad Batch. I don't know if I'm missing one. It's almost like they're setting up for another spinoff of that show. But we could talk about that on my Thursday. I just when it comes to this and extension, making friends, the guys, all y'all. I got plenty of acquaintances now. Go to shows like James wanting to know if I'm going to Chantilly because me and James, he's going to stay with Bobbles. He's got a room there. Oh, okay. All right, James. Are you? We're going to see each other at the National too, but yeah, that's cool. I can do that. I appreciate it. James is awesome. Uh, so Chantilly, that's a show. Usually Bobbles, James, Xavier, Snoop Dogg will be there. I think Finance Dad goes up there. There's a couple other people. Enough Said Cards. It's a pretty good show. I've been trying to get Mike to come down to it one time, and Ed, all those guys, Reese, all those guys up there. It's not too far from them. Come from Philly, so it's probably about the same drive I do now to go up to there from here. So, thanks, Mike. Baseball Kirk Manager, what's up, brother? Yeah, so again, all the guys coming on, just want to let you know Nats Man is okay. He's just not feeling well. All right, sorry, I need to get close. I got my setup different. I'm all relaxed. I'm away from my mic. I've showed it before. I'll show it again. It says that this is my desk right now. The land of penny cards. It's awesome. Love it. Love these cards as much as my other cards. So I got a mess right now that I'm having fun with. To me, that's just as much as the hobby as the Big Daddy cards. So I have a. Oh, it's not me. Okay. So yeah, I keep getting sidetracked. Natsman's not here. Natsman is doing okay. They messed with his medication a little bit. There's something they're trying to. There's if you hear that, that's my neighbor's dog. So trying to get him right here in the next week. We might have some big announcements with me and him coming up. Man, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm a diabetic as well, Bobbles, and I'm having issues too. That's one of my problems. I got a doctor's appointment in the morning. You saw my legs at the show last year after being on them all day. Ain't no joke. I'm trying to do a little bit of something with my weight. So I hear you there. Diabetes is one of those things. He's young now, and he's skinny, stay skinny, so that way the because you got to stay off the carbs and you eat a lot of meat. Now my cholesterol's crazy. It's a crazy time. But anyway, back to Nats, man. He's going to be good. We'll be on next week talking about WBC. I can't wait for that tournament. I want to sit down and talk about some of the lineups, not all of them, but just a couple. Some of the powerhouses. Will Japan be a powerhouse again? I think they will. We'll talk a little bit about that. Some of the coaching staffs are awesome. Some of the who's who of yesteryear in baseball, and some of the stories that are already coming out from the WBC guys playing on that are Americans playing on some of the international teams. It makes some good stories, and maybe we get a surprise? Will Italy finally break out? I doubt it, but let's. But they should be getting better. They got pro ball there now. That's going on there now. We're kind of in a lull in the sports. We're after the All-Star break in basketball, and then hey Mickey, what's up, man? Nestor, yeah. I don't know if Piazza's managing. Is he managing Italy? Because that's who didn't he play for them this last time? The last year he was in the league. I know Yadier is with he's managing Puerto Rico. You got Diazza, not Diazza, DeRocha from MLB. Right? He's known from MLB. Yeah, I hope so too, D. I got one of the years that they did Topps Museum one year for WBC, and I got a beautiful Yachty patch auto out of that. Beautiful. It's really nice. Larry Walker. Yeah, so that you got Ken Griffey's the batting coach for Team USA. I just wish that some of the coaches would take batting practice one day and let us see that. Oh, it's Michael Harris this weekend. I have a letdown in my Michael Harris. I got one of the 86. I think Michael Harris this year is going to be, if anybody's following my channel, I usually get a player that's, Michael was me and Mike were talking about this last night. We think at 2025 that Michael Harris is not eligible for a rookie this year. So I think he's got the cup card as well this year. But I think last year, J-Rod was a guy that I got multiple stuff that I keep hanging on to. Year before, it's not all. I had Kellenic. I've done what's his face with the Padres, but also I don't get the guy that's the number one guy. I usually try to find the guy that I really like that's a ball player. They are the dirty, nasty boys getting dirty. They get dirty in a hospital room. I like those type of players, and I think Michael Harris is one of those guys. Gold Glove. He's going to be a multiple Gold Glover. He's going to be really good on that baseball team. That team is not. They're going to be all fast. Yeah, yeah. That Braves team. Barry. I'm not pumping Michael. I don't want people to pump him. I want to pick up some of his cards. I take it all back because I do like to find, Mike. We've talked about it before. I buy the stuff from you a lot of times. Mike usually knows like what rookie outside of the Mets that I usually look. Now the Mets this year finally have some rookie talent. Brett Beatty, Francisco Alvarez. So I have those as well to really now they're real rookies. They're going to be I'm not an influencer. I just think I mean I can't even get my stuff right. I got a Cat's hat on and a Mets shirt on. I just I think this year, me and you talked about it last night. I think I bought two jumbo boxes. For one, I didn't think they were crazily overpriced. My local LCS had it for less, actually a little bit less than it was on Tops.com. I'm not a pumper, but I surely am a dumper. If you ever come by me when I'm using the bathroom, but they bada bing. Yeah. Well, Battery, why does anybody say that about the Padres? They just signed Machado with an 11-year extension. Is he going to play till he's 90? I mean, let's be for real. The Padres are going out. Are they crazy under the cap? Cohen said last year he wants to win, and he's not going to be a liar. So I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's time that the Mets decide that they're not the number 2 team in a large market, so they're going to take the small boat. What did I pay for them? They haven't shot up. I think they're about $230 now. I paid $159-ish, $156-ish in that ballpark. Yeah, well, that's because all the rookies that are in it. Now the Julio 1-of-1 has been pulled, right? So, I mean, I don't think it was the auto, but it was the 1-of-1. One of the different 1-of-1s you can get, but it was the gold. Wasn't one of the printing plates or anything. The gold trimmer or one. That's the stupidity of how many 1-of-1s there are right now. But I want to look into how many different short prints and all that stuff is, like you were talking about last night. Is Bobby Bonilla still the highest paid player on? I don't think so no more. Well, I think he only gets 100,000 or something like that only. But yeah. So that I don't know how many more years he's got for that. That's the greatest. I mean, the Orioles had the same thing for a while, but I think it's over with now. I mean, the Padres, ain't no way Manny Machado's got 11 more years in him. Not unless he's going to roll a wheelchair up there to hit DH. I know he's going to DH for him probably eventually. But my God, it has to put him in his 40s, right? He's got to be 30 right now, at least. Or did I read that wrong? Or is he with them? I don't know. Cryogenics, I don't know. But this year's box, this year's number 1, and I said it last year, set up as a big time box. Yeah, Bogarts, Tatis, and Machado are signed for the next decade. That's tough. You can say all you want about the Mets, but the Padres, they want to win too. And they know they got to compete with the Dodgers. So, and the Rockies. But anyway, that's going to be another week where we're going to be talking baseball. I got that coming up, a baseball preview show. One of the guys is in the room right now that's going to be on that one with me. That should be a fun one. And I do have something for the baseball season cooking up for baseball. I hope everybody will enjoy that. But yeah, this whole thing of me being on here I really loved it. Really have liked it. And I just got to keep in mind what I'm doing it for. I had to remind myself, you know, I did this to be part of something, uh, but also for myself, um, just to prove to myself. And you know, when I brought up last week's show, it was more of I had somebody on that I thought very highly of, and it kind of hurt um, that I couldn't. I didn't feel like I was my best, and I don't feel like the best was out on. He's 31 right now, James. Okay, thank you. Uh, so that's all that was about, and I'm just gonna keep on cooking, and you know, I'm hoping we're gonna have the card. You know, down here we've had almost every weekend I can go to a card show. I might have to drive a little bit, but I can go to one. Yeah, being that's what I got to keep in mind. It's for fun, and you know, I'm hoping that what I saw this past week isn't because I'm getting tired of the carpetbaggers. I've been kind of keep staying quiet about it, but these guys, and I feel like this guy that's the promoter that's doing this, the way he acted at the card show, once he got his money for doing the tables and the crappy place they're doing it at, he didn't care after that point. Um, you know, announcing how many people came in, I, do better. That's all I want. I just think not having sitting there telling me you're going to have 150 tables that you were talking about does me no good if I can't enjoy walking around the tables. Um, a lot of the dealers were complaining. People were complaining about the lights. Uh, you know, and with all the shows that are around this area, you and competing against online. That's the other thing. I I talked to Mike last night. It's like I would have had more fun sitting here going on Mike's store on eBay and watching women's basketball or anything because that's what I was getting to. We're in a little bit of a lull right now with sports. Get mid-season hockey, mid-season basketball pros. You're getting close to March Madness, which you know turns up the volume a little bit. ACC tournaments right down the road from me. I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see what Virginia is going to look like before if I want to go to that or not. Uh, yeah, I'm with you, James. 100%, and that's going to be one of the things we're going to talk about on that show that I want to have. And also this summer, we're going to kind of look at that Masters in April. That's going to be, you know what, Carlisle? I want to see. Let's bring that up with live or live now in full swing, and some of the players that stayed in the PGA. There's a little bad blood going on there, and is that the first tournament that's a non-PGA sanction that both of them will be playing in? Because the Masters is not PGA sanctioned; it's just the Masters. Um, so you got people uh, from both of those leagues are going to be playing in the Masters. I'm wondering how that story alone makes this year's Masters kind of uh, that story kind of makes you want to know what's going on, and that's outside the playing world. I will always keep one eye on like those tournaments like that, those bigger tournaments. I used to play quite a bit. Now I think I'm probably too big to play. Even though John Daly can knock the crap out of the ball, and little John, but you know there's bad blood amongst the former master champions. The champions dinner should be interesting. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, didn't something happen at last year's dinner? I don't know. You know that's one of those things that they really like their traditions and some good, some very bad in the golf world. But yeah, they love their traditions, and there's something I at LIV League Live, which is on CW, which is more of a team base with singles play and all this other stuff. Um, they're putting a lot of money, but where the money's coming from is the problem. And that was the one thing that I thought was kind of, I didn't even think about somebody moving in on the PGA's turf like maybe some other leagues. But yeah, I guess I mean, golf's a big sport, especially down here where I'm at in the Carolinas. You got golf courses everywhere. Like last summer, the Goodyear Blimp was here for, I forget what tournament, it was flying right above me. Got pictures of it. Yeah, so I got a couple of my friends that they'll work at some of the local golf courses when they do get, live broadcast, which I find pretty interesting. So I'm not huge into golf, but I always kind of watch one eye on it. Remember last night you mentioned how expensive eggs are? Yeah. I had to go buy eggs today. Thought I was going to have to take out a small loan. Buying groceries today. I went to another store. I'm trying to figure out what's the best store to buy. And I stayed away from Walmart and Target so I won't buy baseball cards. That's pretty bad. Really? Wow. Who'd you piss off? What did you do? What did you do, Mike? Yeah. Well, that's I want to hang out with those kids because they got more money than they know what to do with. If you're going, I'd be like, whoa, let's make them scramble. Don't throw them. Come here, bring me that egg. Go get toilet paper. And even that you want to sell, not really throw up in a tree. You want to hang on to it. That's what you need to keep and flip it from. I did see some wax there, but the wax that was there were people that sold wax. Didn't really see people. And what I mean by that was, distributors, people, the local people that sell the boxes. Everyone around me have chickens, so I get 4 free. Yeah. I had a little bit of that in Iowa when the guy had extras. I missed those. I bet you if I talked to some people at work, I might be able to. But yeah, I'm not as in a rural place. I probably have just as many people in my apartment complex that was in my whole town when I lived in Iowa. By the way, Pafalzi, are you still in here? Did the Iowa girls win today? They played Indiana. That was a 4-2, I think, or 6-2. That was a pretty big game for women's. Yes, touchdown farm. You would think they'd have to start coming back down. I mean, it don't take long to grow the chickens to make more eggs. I know I guess the bird flu or whatever went through them, I guess, again. Whatever propaganda we're pushing this week. This isn't a news show. Oh, Iowa won at the buzzer. And what's her face hit the shot? Miss everything. Awesome. I'm sure my buddies right there are happy. They don't have a lot to root for in Iowa, but that place was packed for that game. It was in Iowa too. The Louisville Notre Dame game was packed. I was like, way to go, girls! Now when the NBA or the WNBA played, it'd be 6 people in the stands. But man, the games were. Notre Dame won today. They won the ACC championship today. I guess the tournaments should be starting up here soon. This is when I start caring at all about basketball, at least knowing what's going on. I haven't seen much out of the baseball camps yet. Any injuries or nothing real big, not even trades. I've seen a couple of hockey trades this week. Uh, that they're gearing up to go into the stretch of the playoffs. Teams trying to figure out which direction they want to go in. My Caps, looks like they figured they're going to start working for the future. Um, yeah. Any other questions from the show I went to? Not like I said, that I can't really base a lot on card show. When I go to Hickory, um, I'll probably see your pal Val there if y'all knew him off a Hobby Hotline. He's at that show. Usually sets up the show. I think Jake Legends Never Die is going to be at that show too. Not sell it, but I think we're supposed to meet up there. If I go to that one, I don't know which way I'm going yet. It's going to all depend. Hopefully this week I'll be purchasing the vehicle, and that'll be one more thing off my shoulders, and then I'll start knowing really how much money. And I kind of got my mindset on the national. I've talked to a few different people. This national seems to be a little bit different than the last few, even before COVID, where the expenses are starting to come into play a little bit more. You want to spend as least as possible on the extras, on staying, getting there, all that stuff. Uh, you know, how you're going to eat, where you're going to eat. You want to have fun outside the show, but you still want to have some cash for the show. And I think this year, that's going to be interesting because I've heard more and more, and me included. This is the first year. I don't think it's too early to talk about national. I don't think it's ever too early. Uh, this is if I buy anything big, that's going to probably be it for me for this national. I'm going to probably be. I've been trying to find more and more Pete Alonso's and David Wrights to add to my collection. Now I have a large portion of Gary Carter's. A lot of the Gary Carters are more of the stuff playing now than it is that are coming out as non-playing days. I don't know how y'all feel about. That's a good question. How do y'all feel about buying retired players for today? I know Mike showed an awesome Mike Schmidt from the gilded one. He said he knew about a Johnny Bench one, which my ears perked for that. Beautiful card. And I'll pick them up but do you look for them? Do you go after them and go, I want those cards in my collection? Or are you more of a playing days? Because I don't really care about Roberto Clemente non-playing day cards. I really don't. I don't never really pick them up. If I get them in a pack when I open them, sure, I keep them. But I don't really go sought after them, look for them. I'm kind of the same way with Gary Carter. I just want their playing day stuff. And some of the stuff that they make, like the face mask stuff and things like that, I really like those and they're neat, but I don't really go crazy. And that's a lot of the ones that I'm missing now are stuff after retired. I'm personally not a fan of the old time players and new products unless it's an SP image variation. Yeah, me too. I hear you being on that, Gary. I really when they started doing the legend variations in the cards, that was pretty cool. But now they've kind of gone overboard, and that's what happens with Topps. Something works, and they go nuts. Mike told me that they're going to do 53 Topps now in that whatever anniversary edition. I thought that was a one-off, and that was nice. I don't understand why you want to water it down with another version. I mean, do it every few years. Don't do it every year. And that's what they used to do. Like when they started the new variations, it wasn't every year. If something worked, they might have waited a couple years, or you had the standard every year. but rotate some of that stuff. Yesterday in Braves' first spring game versus Red Sox, bottom of the ninth inning, tied at 3, bases loaded, 2-outs, 3-2 count. And our batter, yes, I know, at Sue Tasker had a picture of it and asked about that. Look, if you want to shorten the games, do with baseball. 5 pitches between innings and you start the next inning. That's how you do it. We did it as little leaguers. They did it in years past. They try to say the pitch count clock saved 25 minutes a game in the minors, but in the minors you don't have commercials. It's not apples to apples. You're gonna tell me in a playoff game that's gonna happen? They're burning the damn stadium down. I wouldn't blame them. I just think that is just terrible. Love the image variation, short prints of Hank Aaron. Yeah. Hank Aaron is not a bad Hank Aaron card. That's a guy. Once I probably get my Clemente run where I'm really happy with, Hank Aaron is on my list of maybe that's the next one. I've already kind of started looking for a very low, something bad to the rookie card that I can afford it in like an authentic or a 1, but the picture still is good. I try to stick solely with playing day cards with the guy. Like, yeah, I feel you, Doc. I just, yeah. Hey, we were talking about you, brother. I see your girls pulled it out in a buzzer beater today. Congratulations. I was thinking, I share my friends in Iowa. This guy Blinks, he's my best bud out there. He's the guy that I used to do all the one of them that did the Pokemon stuff with. That everybody believes me about. Everybody thinks I got a Pokemon collection going on. So, yeah, this has been a fun one. Thanks for the laughs, everybody. I was on here a lot longer than I thought I'd be soloing it, which I don't mind. I don't mind. I get talking on a thing, yeah. And, like I said, when it comes to buying – yeah. Buying the playing days ones, I'm not Pepino. No, not yet. I don't have many days left. That might be if it was gonna be anything, it'll be on my Nerdy Thursday. How you doing, Pepino? It's nice seeing you on here. Yeah. Sure, Blinks. All I need is Carms on here too. Mike knows Carms is real. He's sending cards for me. So till next time, like, share, tell a friend. Please leave a comment down below just to say hi, whatever, if you don't mind. And like I said on a thing, please, if somebody else is going to go live on the same night, we hash it out where we can work together and bring everybody together. Not the same times, but I can throw it to the next person and be as one and really help each other. I want to give a quick shout out to Insert Revolution podcast. They had a nice discussion this past week on some of this and how we should work together in the community and not steal and use each other, and really promote each other. And I'm for that. And, I'm 100% for that. No matter how small or how big we can all help each other and really enjoy what we do. So until next time, see you.